So, hi!
Oh, hi, Ms. Merryweather. Hey, Samaa. Look who's here.
Hi there.
Hi! Well, I have a project. And I know this is Maine Humanities, so there needs to be some humanities in it. Why do you want things to have humanities in them?
Good question. The humanities help us develop awareness and understanding of people's lived experiences and to put it into words. So, a big part of what humanities programs typically do is provide context and use stories about what people have done and how they have lived or might live. You know, human culture. They help people explore ideas about how things are or could be. And they build discussions or exhibitions or presentations around poems, art, music, or even important or interesting objects. The humanities are all about getting people to think critically and talk with each other and analyze what they're seeing or hearing.
Oh, so humanities is like a word for when people are talking about stuff.
Yeah, basically, whether your project is about something like literature or art or music or history or philosophy, whenever a project includes deliberate opportunities for the people who participate in it to discuss, interpret, or analyze what you're presenting, that's humanities. That way they get to understand it better and get to see it in a wider context.
Okay, but what if... Do the people have to, talk, to each other? Can't they just read or listen to a thing or whatever?
Well, it is pretty powerful when people talk to each other. And also, sometimes, it works for people to make things like podcasts and radio shows where people on the radio are talking and everyone else is just listening. Or to have conferences where the people presenting might do more talking than the audience. Sometimes people will make exhibitions with a lot of explanatory cards and things, or make films or videos, but it's really better when there are chances for people to actually discuss the podcast or video or exhibition or lecture with each other. That's when the humanities is the most humanities, really. It's when people are talking to people about things.
Ooh, neat! People talking to people about things. What about stories? Stories are people talking about stuff, right? Does storytelling count?
Oh, well, we often get questions about whether or not Maine Humanities can fund projects involving storytelling. We can and we do fund storytelling projects as long as the projects have strong humanities components. Storytelling by itself isn't humanities. People talking to people about stories is humanities, and that's the part we can fund. So we're going to want to know things like, why is it important to do this project now? Be sure to share the context and the significance of your project.
Who will be asked to share stories and why? How will they be selected? How will you reach them? How might you address their needs? Will they be compensated for their time?
Oh, and what is the process of getting to the storytelling? Will you have some storytelling workshops? What kind of planning and preparation will there be to support the people who will be telling their stories?
Who has experience and can help? Will you be working with advisors or partners?
Oh, and of course, how will the public be engaged? In other words, how will people get to talk to one another about the stories? What kind of structure will you have for that? Will you have some guiding questions?
Thinking through the answers to these questions will help you answer the questions in our applications.
Ooh, I have an idea. What about pictures or sculptures or music? That's still developing awareness, right? Just without any words? What if there are no words?
Well, actually, pictures and sculptures and music, even plays and performances that are full of words, that's art. The humanities part happens when people at the program are invited to discuss, interpret, or analyze the art. That's the people talking to other people about the things part. That's humanities. When people get to think and talk about it, they have a chance to understand it better and get to see it in a wider context. That's humanities.
If you're seeking funding for a performance or something arts focused, just remember that we need you to tell us what the humanities parts of the program are, because that's what we can fund. There are lots of ways to do the humanities part, giving audience members a deliberate invitation to think and talk about the art part. It could be something like having a panel discussion with experts who can share about the piece and the issues it raises.
Or audience talks before or after the performance.
Oh, yeah. Or work with educators to develop curriculum and other programs for students and other educators.
That's right. Any related programming or workshops would be great.
Woo!
But remember, since we're the Humanities Council, we will be funding the humanities parts of the project or program.
Goodness me. My stars. It is a little fiddly, but it's starting to make sense.
Oh, we know the line between arts and humanities can be hard to see. That's why we're so glad to talk with you like this before you apply, to help you see if your project fits these parameters.
Can you say that one more time? I want to write it down this time.
Sure.
Do you have a piece of paper I could borrow?
Absolutely.
Whatever form of human culture your project is focused on, as soon as participants are invited to deepen their understanding through discussion, interpretation, or analysis, there is a humanities element in your project. That humanities element needs to be there, and it needs to be clearly explained for us to be able to fund it.
Phew! Thank you! I was so worried this little thing we're trying to do wouldn't count.
Here you go.
Thank you!
Thank you. But of course your project counts. The humanities belong to everyone. They are ours. We love supporting projects that give broad access so lots of people can be involved in learning and thinking and talking about important aspects of their own and especially other people's experience of living. That's not little at all. That's really big.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's always so nice when we get to talk with someone before they apply.
Nicely done. Nicely